Hi there, this is Linda from Linda Loves Creating, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In this video, I'm putting together my Project Life spread for the week of July 1st through July 7th, 2023, and I'm working with the July kit from Freckled Fawn. This is the first spread in my new album, my second half of 2023. If you are curious how I finished up the first one, I plan to share a flip through of that album soon. Let's go ahead and dive right into this spread. Hey there, so I cropped out my photos, and for this week I'm starting my new album, and this week's a little off. It's July 1st through 7th because I need to start on the 1st, so this actually runs Saturday through Friday rather than my usual Monday through Sunday, and then I get back on track in the following week. So I just had like a few photos. A lot of my photos from this week were like outdoor stuff because I did go for a walk on the rail trail a couple times. I think I walked the full length of the rail trail, and I think most of my photos are from that. And then I just have some photos from like lounging at home because this was really kind of a quiet week. It was the week of the 4th of July, which I didn't really do much. I went out to the pool and grilled and with some friends, and it was just very simple. I'm trying to decide kind of how I want it laid out. And then I think there were some rainy days, so I had some like inside activities and then some really nice days where I was outside. So I'm working with the July kit from Freckled Fawn. And I've already done a project with this kit. I absolutely love this kit. I used the other one of this card already, but I always want to use their card that has the numbers. The ice cream one is super fun too. I might use that. This one is cute. So is this flower one. Life is good. I might use this one for a title card. The glasses one. So I actually went to an eye appointment this week. So I guess I'm going to use that. I wouldn't normally, but that's just so like specifically like on point that I kind of have to, right? And then let's see. I'm just going to look at the papers. So I remember I loved this paper. It's so pretty, but I don't know that I want to cut it this small to be in a pocket. And then let's see, what else do we have here? This one's pretty. Just kind of looking through. And there's 2 of every paper, so I don't have to worry about like hoarding them. But I do think that this pattern is too large for a 3x4 pocket. Maybe if I had some 4x6 pockets, but I don't. So this one would be great for journaling, but I don't know that I want to do more journaling. I think I just want filler, so I'm going to use this one as a filler card. I'm going to use this one. I'm not sure if I want it that way or the other way. This one I will journal about my glasses, but I don't think I have enough to fill this whole card, so I'm probably going to put some patterned paper along the bottom there, but which pattern? Let's see. And then I still need to fill these spots. Let me look at the embellishments before I get too deep in the weeds. So I've got the chipboard pieces. I'm going to put this one here as always. And a lot of these are super cute. Like this, I kind of want to put that with like my circle cap. And this one for sure is going on this photo. That's just perfect. Summer vibes, the grilling. Enjoy today. I would use this summer one because on a lot of these like outdoor photos, but because that's my daughter's name, I'm going to save it for a photo of her because this is just too perfect. Kind of like this for the puzzle. I think I'm going to like put a word on that says puzzling or something like that. And then let's see, where's the ice cream one? I do love this card, but I don't want to use it because I want to save it for my daughter, even though I already used the other one with her, but the ice cream. And then I think I want to find something from my stash that is 4th of July specific because this was the 4th of July week. So I'm going to go over to my stash and I will pop right back on here. Okay, so these are my filler cards that are summer themed that I have in my stash, and a lot of them are from Allie Edwards. Like this one is 4th of July, sort of, but I'm not sure I actually have 4th of July one. So I'm just gonna go through these really quickly. And it looks like I don't. So I'm going to need to come up with some other way to make a nod to the fact that it is the 4th of July this week. Because this kit doesn't have anything specific to the holidays, which I think is great if you are someone who doesn't really do anything for the 4th of July, or if you're not American, it makes it much more flexible. But I do want to make a nod to that in my album, so I'm going to go ahead and see what else I have in my stash. Okay, so I went over into my stash of Studio Calico cards that are still in kits and went through looking for the July one. There was no 4th of July thing. I did find this though in my stash from an older Studio Calico kit. It is a 4 that I believe was for 4th of July, and I kind of like it. I think that I'm going to put that just to kind of do a nod to the 4th of July without really documenting anything about it. And then I think I need to put something else on here. So I do have this scrap of this paper, so I'm probably going to add some of that on there. And then there's also these labels in the kit. These stars are super cute, but I don't think I want to use them because I think I want to heat emboss if I'm going to use them, and I already have a lot going on here. There's this washi tape, which is super cute, and then these labels and some more chipboard. So what I'm going to do, and there's also the alphas and the enamel dots, but I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on fast forward, get my journaling in place, get everything kind of put together, and see if I want to add any more embellishments. Okay, as usual, I start with my title card. This year, all of the Freckled Fawn kits have come with a chipboard piece that has the month labeled on it. The one that I used here that says July, they all look the same. So I'm making it a point to use this on my title card for each week that I'm using the Freckled Fawn kit. So I started with that with my rolling date stamps, and I adhered down another chipboard piece, and then I just kind of rearranged some of my photos. I didn't like that I had chipboard pieces on all of those photos right next to each other. So I switched the two photos of my cat to kind of spread out the chipboard pieces across the spread a little bit better. And now I'm doing my journaling about my eye appointment. As I said in the intro, I normally wouldn't have journaled about my eye appointment. Well, I probably would have put it on that 1 through 5 card, but because there was a card that had glasses on it, it just made so much sense to use it for this story. And I actually ended up having more to say about it than I thought I would, which is just kind of a good reminder that sometimes we can let the products guide our stories and guide us to tell more of the story or less of the story, depending on the amount of space that is on the card that we're working with. Next, I moved on to this journaling card where I wanted to tell a longer story. I didn't have a great longer story for this week, but again, I stretched my story to make it fit and ended up adding in more details that I probably would not have included. So what I told the story about was that I walked the full rail trail that day. And so we have a rail trail in our area that runs from the city on one side of me to the town on the other side of me, coming through my town right in the middle. And walking the entire thing, I think, is about 9 miles, if I remember correctly. So I like to walk it with a friend every so often, and we'll, drive to one end, leave a car there, drive to the other end, and then walk to the other person's car. So it's kind of fun. I didn't have a ton to say about it, but I did take some photos on that. And one of the things I took a photo of was the bridge that they're redoing in the middle of the rail trail. And so I told a little bit of the story about them redoing that bridge and some reflections I had on that because it has been pretty disruptive to the traffic in the area, which is where I commute. Moving on to that photo of my puzzle, I really loved the chipboard piece this month that had this, it was almost like a little label. It was a banner. and I stamped the word puzzle on it. And then when I bring something in like stamping like this, I like to bring it in more than once. So we ended up stamping on this card with the floral, the 4th of July. Now this is not a very 4th of July card, but I think it works because I didn't have a very like typical 4th of July. I didn't go do fireworks or any of that. I did grill and sit by the pool, but to me that's just more of a normal summer day. And it was just nice to have the day off of work. So I journaled about what my daughter did with her friends and then what I did for the 4th of July and just added a little bit more of the story on this card. There wasn't really much to say again, but it's just, adding a little bit of details and commemorating that the 4th was this week. I did add that 4 from Studio Calico as one of my filler cards this week. It ends up working well with the Freckled Fawn kit, and I didn't end up adding anything to it. I like that it just kind of stands alone as the 4. And I like that this card that I'm journaling on now is red and that 4 is blue, so that you're kind of getting the red, white, and blue in here without being overly patriotic, because I'm just not someone who likes really overly themed kits. I know a lot of people do love those, but I like my spreads to kind of just be, more themed for the season rather than holidays, with just little nods to the season. The exception to that might be Christmas, but I'm sure you've seen my spreads in the past, and Christmas products are just so pretty. But anyways, back to what I'm working on here. I journaled just 5 little stories from the week. I actually only had 4. So the last one I just listed out a bunch of very small details from the week that didn't make it elsewhere. And now I'm working on slipping everything into the pockets. I do have to trim quite a few of these cards down, and my photos. I think these page protectors, which I believe are either from Allie Edwards or Studio Calico, probably Allie Edwards, but they might be the same ones because they come from the same warehouse. The pockets, I think, are a little bit narrower than 3 inches, and that probably is just so that they can get it to fit on a full 9x12 piece, and there has to be a little bit of allowance for that seam. But because of that, it's a little bit snugger than some of the other page protectors, so I do end up having to trim some of the photos and cards down, which is totally fine. It doesn't really cost much time or anything. It's not that frustrating to do that. I got to this final card and decided I wanted to add a little bit of something else to it, so I added another chipboard piece and some washi tape on top of that card on the pattern paper, and I love how it turned out. Here's a look at that finished spread. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.